Nurkozha KAIPANOV of Kazakhstan, his opponent from Mongolia, Tolga, TUMOR. And between these two, they've had they've had in previous years 9 appearances, so now 11 appearances at the World Championships. KAIPANOV, former world champion, Asian champion. TUMOR always in the mix, and just he has been workmanlike in this tournament. 7-1 victory, 11-0 victory. And on the other hand, KAIPANOV, down in both of his matches early and second period, has been a buzzsaw.
Yeah, in my opinion, KAIPANOV, I mean, I watched him commentate on his matches at the World Championships last year. Pound for pound, in my opinion, the most physically strong wrestler out there. Just in positions where you'd think he'd lose, he just powers his way out of them. Add that to the technical aspects as well, and you've got a really strong wrestler there.
So you talked about the strength and technique, but the stamina and the mental strength of being down late in a match and then coming back and having to attack and win when you're losing is difficult. So he is a gamer. Both of these athletes, 27 years old. This year, a ranking series were in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. So he was 3rd in that tournament in the ranking series, but unseeded here, where KAIPANOV, reigning world champion, is the number 3 seed. Neither of these athletes with age group world medals, but both of them have world medals, as TUMOR has been a bronze medalist in the World Championships, where KAIPANOV, he's got a gold and a silver.
And that's where I'm talking about, that power there. I mean, TUMOR goes for the arm spin that we all know he's very good at, and KAIPANOV just says no, rips him from the cams, is completely out of his turn, and just lets go of him like his little brother.
He did, spun him like a top. I was expecting him just to continue to spin out there.
And usually, KAIPANOV on the shot clock now, if he doesn't score in that 30 seconds, TUMOR is going to get that point. And if there's not much action in the first round, how the referees decide who's passive and who's not, it's usually the wrestler who's demanding the center and putting his opponent on the back foot. He's the attacking wrestler when there's no points on the board.
Definitely. And one of the things we know about the Mongolian wrestlers, especially TUMOR, he's not afraid to go big. He's going to lock you up, and he's going to look for big moves, whether it be the arm spin or a body lock or an inside trip. They are unafraid to score big points. Now, 1-0 now as the activity period does end. So TUMOR takes a 1-0 lead. Beautiful flip over and a step out point. Mongolia 2-0, but this has been the story of his first 2 matches. He's gone down early and had to come back and get great attacks. Had to beat the American PJ Duke, and then he had to beat the Mexican Gomez to get here, and again, down big in both matches.
Well, just from that over-under position there from TUMOR, just before he did it, I was about to say, pay attention to this little throw by he does. He holds the wrist, right hand underhook, pushes, and when they push back, jumps to the side and drags them through. I've seen him throw people for 4 points like they're nothing with that technique.
Right, and he jumps down to both knees,
exactly,
and so he changes his level so fast, and that attack is spectacular. One of the things we know about the Mongolian wrestlers, they don't get tired, and they push the entire match as well. Sometimes to a fault where they can be up by points and continue to go hard when maybe they should pull back and be a defensive wrestler. They don't know what that's about. Here we begin period number 2. Tolga, TUMOR of Mongolia, has a 2-0 lead, wrestling Nurkozha KAIPANOV of Kazakhstan, world champion in Belgrade, Serbia, where he also finished as the silver. And there's that. 4 points offered. 2 points confirmed. That little right-handed high crotch he does where he back steps, makes you take a little breath, and then he's so fast to get in and cut in his corner. So now, just like that, he takes a 2-2 criteria lead with the last point scored. And the highest scoring point, so he holds 2 of the criteria at this point. But there's that underhook position by TUMOR OCHIR. George, what do you think of this grounding position where some athletes drop down to their knees even before they get into the zone so that they don't give up points?
Well, it's smart. I mean, you're just playing the game against the game itself. You know, why stay on the feet and risk getting driven off the mat like we just saw, where you can stay down maybe on one knee, and if needed, put the other knee down and go out as a grounded position. It's smart. It's mat awareness. That's where it is, knowing exactly where you are on the mat and what to do in that moment. So talking about KAIPANOV's power, he got in on that double, and he wasn't even elbows deep. He just had his hands behind the leg, and the way he just drove through TUMOR OCHIR like he was nothing, drove him off for those 2 points. And again, this over-under position from TUMOR OCHIR, so strong and so tricky here.
Now, does he ever go cross to the drag there and you know, change his directions? I haven't seen that, but there's the whip over. But KAIPANOV falls to his hip, doesn't give up exposure points, and then is able to square up to him and not give up the big points. That time he was smart, stayed down in the ground position, didn't try to push back in and go to his feet to give up the step out. So a 3-2 lead here with just over a minute to go. 70 kilograms, our second semifinal. There it was. Again, the whip over. Then he'd limp his arm out and goes behind. A 5-2 lead for the wrestler from Mongolia, Tolga, TUMOR OCHIR. Full split position there by KAIPANOV. And Tolga, TUMOR OCHIR is not afraid just to stay in that position because he's not in any danger and looks like he's being active.
Yeah, exactly, and you know, they both got worlds of experience, and TUMOR OCHIR is not going to do something that he doesn't need to do. Again, going for that over-under position, because not only is offensively he's very good there, he can hold off KAIPANOV from that position, because he knows if we go 50-50 in this position, I'm winning every time.
Absolutely, and KAIPANOV is really good with that outside head on the outside high crotch with his right arm. So by being in that chest-to-chest position, he doesn't have that opportunity. Straight shot. And Mongolia, unseeded coming into the tournament. He's going to have the victory, 5-2. And Mongolia with a world finalist at 70 kilograms, Tolga, TUMOR OCHIR. Beautifully just